Hi, this Miss Melinda, and welcome to Miss Melinda's Spontaneous Smart Diva Show. How are all of my subscribers and fans doing tonight? Are you all good? Enjoying life? Let's see, today it's going to be Halloween Friday night. Yeah, it's going to be Halloween Friday night. I'm in the middle of making a costume, but it might not be made in time for, we have our own Halloween party, and we have a costume contest. But if I don't finish that costume, it doesn't matter, because that costume that I'm making by hand, actually, I'm not going to have it on YouTube. It's for private. Few friends of mine, that will get a kick out of it. So anyway. So I decided spontaneously this morning when I woke up, I said, you know what? This feels like a party class. So this is the third time I will be doing this class. I've done it 2 other times. Once in the very beginning, kind of near the beginning of my show, and then I did another one. And people love it. I got some really good ones here. So what I did was I decided to do Q&A, and it's Q&A with shocking answers. I thought of that when I first started this show. I said, that is a kick-ass idea. My friends will have a ball with that. Questions with shocking answers. So you can pick a topic, that you might want to do, but you don't do the whole Q&A one topic. No. I did a little bit of elementary simple science, very elementary simple science. But I didn't do a lot, I just do a lot of just different things, I like a lot of the time I don't even pick a subject, So let's do this. And everything, when I go in my internet to Cortana, my Microsoft Assistant, I say, a lot of times I don't even say a subject. I just say, give me something really exciting. That's a question, and it has a very shocking. Give me questions that have very shocking answers. You're screaming. We gotta talk softer. Okay. So this is Q&A, and everything I asked, I picked out the ones I wanted, and I made sure they were easily understandable, or it would just ruin the whole show. My fans have to be happy. Yeah, they can't be saying, "Oh, I don't have enough education to know that about that at all." And you're not supposed to know the answer necessarily. But it is kind of part of the fun that you try. Maybe if you're out with your friends, if you're with friends, even at home or at a friend's house, or neighbors got together, or you're in a club where you're eating pizza, you can play my show, Q&A show. And each person can say, well, I think this answer. And the other one could say, I think this answer. And play a little game and see who, if you got more than one person to watch the Q&A, you can see who wins the most. A lot of it you're not going to know because they're shocking answers. Yeah. So not too many people will have already known the answer. Okay, so here we go. We are doing, this is crooked here. Okay, so I just got to pull it in the back. Sorry, guys, I must adjust my crop indoor jacket here. Okay, how does that look? Okay, that's cute. Okay, so question number 1. Gotta get my ponytail. All right. Question number 1. What's the only planet that could float in water? Isn't that a cool question? What's the only, and like, none of us are going to know that, but this is fun. It would not be fun if it was like nobody will know the answer, but it's like a rocket scientist question, you know, like really for somebody that has a, you know, degree in physics, that wouldn't be fun. But to say this one, and, you know, none of us are going to know the answer, that's okay, because it's an elementary question and answer. When you get the answer, it's, you know, you'll see what I'm saying. What's the only planet that could float in water? Most of us probably don't know, but the answer is Saturn. Okay? My pigtail. The answer is Saturn. It's so light and made of gas that it would float in a giant bathtub. So the planet Saturn is so light and made of gas that it would float in a giant bathtub. See, now that's a fun Q&A though, isn't it? Even though we didn't know the answer, it's fun to learn that, isn't it? It's fun to learn that. It's very simple to understand, and it's fun to learn that. Okay, now you can tell your friends, hey, you know what the lightest planet is? And can float in water? What's the only planet that can float in water? You can run around and ask your friends, and the answer is Saturn. It's so light and made of gas that it would float in a giant bathtub. So they can go run around. If the friend you're not with friends you're not with now, you know. Okay, and relatives, you know, mom, dad, cousin, aunt, uncle. Here's another Q&A. What's the most common element in the universe? A, hydrogen. It makes up about 75% of all matter. Okay, so I asked for just a few science questions, but I didn't go ballistic on it. We don't want to do that, no. Okay, next Q&A. What's the smallest? Okay, this is a good one. This is not science, really. Well, it is science. But anyway, what's the smallest bone in the human body? And none of us are going to guess it. But it's still fun because we're going to learn from it. And it's easy to understand. The smallest bone in the human body is the stapes. And I've taught you this in biology class, but I don't remember the name of stapes. I mean the meaning. But it says the stapes, S-T-A-P-E-S. The stapes in your ear. So, and I've taught this in class. I just taught the nose, ears, and mouth. I've been teaching the digestion system too. So I just taught about the steps. We didn't know about the smallest bone in the body. No. Okay. They didn't mention that. No, that was a question I got. The stapes in your ear are the smallest bone in your body. It's smaller than a grain of rice, but lets you hear. It's smaller than a grain of rice, but lets you hear. Okay? Next Q&A. What's the most powerful force in the universe? This will be fun to learn. Do any of you know? Are you with more than one person? You guys could take bets. Or you don't have to take bets, but both just take a guess and see if one of you win or something. What's the most powerful force in the universe? The answer is gravity. It holds galaxies together. Can you believe that? Gravity holds galaxies together. That is what I want you to think about. It's still elementary, simple science in outer space. Just think, okay, I taught in the class, I think I taught in one of my classes, there's so many galaxies, and I didn't know that, and you probably didn't either. I think they were saying like hundreds of thousands of galaxies. Yeah, and I think I taught it maybe in one class. I don't remember. Yeah, so gravity, it holds galaxies together and bends light itself. Now that's interesting, isn't it? We all know what gravity is, but we never knew it would hold galaxies together and bends light itself. It can bend light. Isn't that weird? So I thought these were really fun Q&A, even though I knew we wouldn't know the answers on these. They are not rocket scientists when I give you the answer. All it does is educate you, and it's very simple to understand. But it's a shocking answer. It's a shocking answer that gravity holds galaxies together. If you know that there's hundreds of millions of galaxies, I gotta look that up again. They say like hundreds of millions of galaxies. We have we're in the Milky Way galaxy. Okay, gravity, it holds galaxies together and bends light itself. So it's fun to learn this, at the same time. Okay, next question. What's the only planet that spins sideways? Now, I never knew one spins sideways. Uranus. It rolls like a barrel instead of spinning like a top. So you can tell your friends that one. Get a pen and paper and write it down. Q&A. Next one. What's the only metal that's liquid at room temperature? Now, this is interesting. Listen to this one. You can understand all this, everything I'm asking. So don't block it out or run away or, it's all easy. Okay, what's the only, we're not going to know the answer, but it's easy. When I tell you the answer, it's easy for you to completely understand. Okay, question, what's the only metal that's liquid at room temperature? Mercury, and it's so toxic, even touching it can be dangerous. Isn't that interesting? It said, what was the only metal that's liquid at room temperature? What's the only metal that's liquid at room temperature? Is mercury, and it's so toxic, even touching it can be dangerous. Okay, the next one. What's the hottest planet in our solar system? Answer, Venus. Even though Mercury is closer to the sun, Venus traps heat like an oven. Okay? Keep that one to tell your friends. Well, write them down. Watch this over and over. Okay? My beautiful bosoms keeps getting moved. You gotta do it tighter maybe. Pull it. I always have to pull. Well, I'm leaning over. Okay, don't lean over. Okay, so what's the hottest planet in our solar system? Venus. Even though Mercury is closer to the sun, Venus traps heat like an oven. Question, what's the longest time a person has gone without sleep? Can anybody guess? 11 days. Yeah, you need your sleep or you could die. So 11 days he went without sleep. Randy Gardner was his name. 11 days Randy Gardner stayed awake. He did it in 1964. Nobody's been able to beat that since 1964. Wow. As a science experiment. Okay, next one. What's the most dangerous job in the world? Guys, listening to me? What's the most dangerous job in the world? Answer, logging workers. They have the highest fatality rate of any profession. And they don't tell you why. Probably when the tree, they cut, with a automatic electric or whatever, logs cave in on your head and kill you. I'm assuming that, that's it. I don't know. Okay. So, next question. This is fun, isn't it? Are you enjoying the Q&As? You're learning a lot, aren't we? But simple things that you can say to your friends. Yeah. Just write them all down and watch the show again. Then you can have fun. You could play a game with these. Okay? So, next question. What animal could survive? Now, I did domestic animals and wild animals. I said everybody loves animals. So we'll get the most shocking answers for questions of some animal, domestic and wild. Okay, but this, I don't know if this is all of them at once yet. I think it is. What animal can survive in space? Now, this is weird. I didn't know any animal was up in space. Did you? What animal can survive in space? Answer, the tardigrade. So it's like tar and nicotine. This is all one word. Okay, this is the only animal that can survive on space. You listening? Write it down, get a pen and paper. This is the only animal survive in space. It's one word, tar, like the tar on the street, dig, like digging a hole, and grade, but just one G, like you're getting a good grade. So the tardigrade, it's one G, but you say tardigrade. The tardigrade is AKA known as water bear. It's known as a water bear. It can survive extreme radiation, freezing, boiling, and even the vacuum of space. Well, why don't they tell us what the hell planet it's on? You should gotta tell. Well, that one I have to do when I go back to my room. I want to know what planet. I thought that they have found no living animal or anything living in space or Mars or anywhere. So you're probably wondering the same thing, right? There's never been anything found alive. They're claiming there's an animal, and they're calling it an animal. And that he lives up there, and they call him AK known as water bear, like he's a bear in the water. I'm just making that up. But they're calling it a water bear. It can survive at extreme radiation, freezing, boiling, and even the vacuum of space. I'm getting really hot all of a sudden. I got to start writing fit. All right, I'm not going to talk so much. Let's get this done because I'm getting really hot. They got the heater, a whole bunch of them right here. It can survive. Okay, so this tardigrade, the only animal in space that can survive. It can survive extreme radiation, freezing, boiling, and even the vacuum of space. And it can survive the vacuum of space? I thought it could survive the vacuum, like the black holes. I can't believe it can uphold the black holes. We got to Google that one. Microsoft it. She talks to you. What's the loudest sound ever recorded on Earth? It's fun to learn this. The loudest sound ever recorded on Earth was the eruption of Krakatoa. So it's in some country, who knows. The eruption of Krakatoa in 1883. It ruptured eardrums 40 miles away. It ruptured eardrums 40 miles away. And was heard 3,000 miles away. And was heard 3,000 miles away. That's shocking, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. What's the only part of your body that was no blood supply, that has no blood supply. The cornea in your eye, it gets oxygen directly from the air. But, oh, forget that. That's me talking. Okay. So, you heard that? What's the only part of your body that has no blood supply? The cornea in your eye. It gets oxygen directly from the air. I would think your skin, it's the biggest organ in your body, gets air. So I have to Google that. Doesn't that have your curiosity? Doesn't skin get air, oxygen directly? I would think. It says what was the only part of your body that has no blood supply. So it's saying that skin can't get oxygen directly either. That's weird because your skin breathes, don't it? I got to do some Googling. All right, Q. What's the heaviest thing a human has ever lifted? A man named Paul Anderson lifted a platform weighing 6,270 pounds, 2,840, I guess, kilograms. I don't know. I hate that. Just stick to simple. He lifted 6,270 pounds. Keep it simple. And that's heavier than a car. Okay. What's the most expensive liquid on earth? Answer, scorpion venom. I don't know why it's the most expensive. What, so you can murder people? I don't know. God, I got to keep this class. I want to ask a lot of questions. Scorpion, it says, what's the most expensive liquid on earth? Scorpion venom. It can cost up to $39 million per gallon. It can cost up to $39 million per gallon for scorpion venom. Can you believe that shit? That's why scorpion people can be vicious. Yeah. Here's domestic. This is the one I know you'll love. I finally said, hey, let's do domestic and wild animals. And here they are. So you with me? Are you staying with me? Are you staying with Miss Melinda? Okay. Okay, so here's animals. All right. Question. Can cats survive falls from high buildings? Yes, cats have survived falls from over 30 stories due to their writing reflex, quote unquote. I don't know, it just says writing, not like you write in a pen. It's saying like, you're right, ing. You're right, ing. Writing reflex. That's what it's saying. So that's one of the answers, that cats can fall from 30 stories and not get hurt due to writing reflex and low terminal velocity. Low terminal velocity. You would think they'd have high velocity because they're so little. Okay, what's the most expensive dog ever sold? Do you have any idea? A Tibetan Mastiff was sold for $1.9 million in China. Okay, don't scream, don't. Okay. Next question. Can dogs smell diseases? Answer, yes. Trained dogs can detect cancer, diabetes, and even COVID-19. Incredible accuracy. Yeah, I know a story about a dog that saved his master's life, a woman that lived alone. She was going into a diabetic coma. I finally thought of the word coma. She was going into a diabetic coma, and he was trained to push a button for the phone to go to 911, or her alert. She had an alert thing wearing, something like that. Yeah, the dog knew she was going into a diabetic coma, and so he got her help. 911. Yeah. Okay, do cows have best friends? Yes, and they get stressed when separated. Their heart rates even drop when reunited. We're almost done, guys, okay? Can parrots understand what they say? Some can. One African gray parrot named Alex could identify colors, shapes, and even express frustration. One animal can kill a lion in one-on-one fight. The Hokie badger. It's fearless, has thick skin, and has been known to fight off lions and survive snake bites. Question: what's the deadliest animal to humans? And I've had this. I taught you this in another class, or I mentioned it spontaneously. Yeah. Okay. What's the deadliest animal to humans? The mosquito. It kills over 700 million people. No, it kills over 700,000 people a year by spreading disease like malaria, and I'm saying meningitis. So malaria and meningitis, because we had a meningitis patient living here from a mosquito bite. It gave her meningitis, and eventually it did kill her. Yes. Okay. She was a hairdresser, you know. Anyway, this is the last page. You guys listening? Okay. All right. Can octopuses escape from jars? Yes. They can unscrew lids. Isn't that amazing? Octopuses can unscrew lids from the inside and squeeze through the holes the size of a coin. That's a good one. Isn't that cute? Tell your friends that one. What animal can survive being frozen solid? I thought a bear, because they hibernate. But I guess they don't freeze. They don't get cold. No, because they hibernate. Okay. So what animal can survive being frozen solid? Ask your friends. See who knows, if anybody can get the answer. The wood frog. I wouldn't have known that. So I assume some type of frog. I've never heard of a wood frog. Have you? Okay, the wood frog. It literally freezes in winter and throws back to life in spring. And thaws back to life in spring. Okay, the wood frog is what can survive being frozen solid. The wood frog, it literally freezes in winter and thaws, is what they said, and thaws out, melts, back to life in spring. That's interesting. What's the loudest animal on earth? The sperm whale. Never heard that, did you? Have you ever heard of a sperm whale? Okay, but they're also the loudest on earth. What's the loudest animal on earth? Okay. The sperm whale, it clicks, can reach 230 decibels, louder than a jet engine. What's the loudest animal on earth? The sperm whale. Its clicks can reach 230 decibels, louder than a jet engine. So how did you like that class of Q&A? It was very educational and enjoyable and fun, wasn't it? And everything you learned was something a teacher wouldn't even think of. And you wouldn't have thought of, these particular questions and all that. So did you really enjoy it? Okay, well, I have been a little busy bee today. So I need to get my little butt under the blankets, the cozy little blankies, and YouTube a movie. And I love all my subscribers and all my fans. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And everybody hit my thumbs up button. And leave me comments. Yeah, I'm supposed to get comments from my fans, and I'm supposed to reply to as many as I can. And I do. Every day that I watch, I look for some fans that left comments, and I reply to them. I respect them, and I reply. And if there's 6 comments, everybody gets a response. But, if you start like with 15 in one show, I can't get all 15 because I got 1,000, 999 big deal, 1,000, same thing, 998,000, same thing. So, I respond to as, many fans as I can. So, you know, if you can leave comments below too, that would help. But I need 242 more hours of you guys watching me. And YouTube channel monitors you. And then I can make money. And I'm out of it. I don't have money to buy any new costumes. So you better watch some extra biology classes and go all over the place and watch as much as you can. I need 240 hours watch time to bust 3,000 hours watch time. So I can make some money. And I'm going to have just enough money to go buy one more supply of makeup tomorrow. And basically, I don't have any more money to buy any more. I don't want to turn this into a depressing, I'm not supposed to talk about this until I'm eligible for money. So let me just stop it there, because this is a happy channel, okay? This is a happy channel. But we just got to get Miss Melinda making money, you know, because it's like I'm kind of stuck for a while. Okay, I love all my fans and subscribers, and I will see you next class, okay? Good night.